Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Everyone, welcome to the show. So 32-year-old, then Virginia resident, now Texas resident, Landon Mitchell, posted on social media in the days and weeks preceding the Capitol attack. He shared articles about seceding from the Union, and he wrote, quote, "I'm down for it. If Biden wins, civil war it shall be." In mid-December, Mitchell wrote, quote, "It's flat out treason what they're pulling, and the law doesn't apply to them, so we need to become the law." He also shared memes that talked about fighting, about treason. And on January 6th, Mitchell went to D.C. with his co-defendant, Luke Bender. They took a bunch of photos and videos while they were storming the Capitol. And Mitchell and his friend were seen climbing the inauguration scaffolding. They reached the entry level of the building. And a short time later, Mitchell and his friend were seen on surveillance video illegally entering the Capitol. They made their way to the Senate chamber. They ended up being two of only 70 people who were seen in the Senate. They were on the Senate floor, and while they were there, they took additional photos. They were searching through documents that had been left behind by senators. And as with his friend, Mitchell stepped up onto the Senate dais and he posed for photos with the QAnon shaman. Sometime later, Mitchell and the others were escorted out of the chamber. A group of officers came in and forced them to leave. And then that night, Mitchell messaged some friends and family members, and he bragged, quote, "Breached the Capitol today. Quote, one of the first in. Also, one of the first to breach. And, quote, climbed the scaffolding up 3 stories, pushed back the police and breached the doors." And in one message, Mitchell said, quote, "People are fed up with how crooked the government has been, and they pretty much been laughing at us, thinking we wouldn't do anything about it." Then on January 7th, he posted an image on Facebook showing a skull that was surrounded by red smoke, and it was captioned, quote, "Absolutely proud of my fellow Americans who made their voices heard at the Capitol." In the days that followed, Mitchell continued to post defiant statements on social media. They were filled with election fraud fairy tales. He was trying to deflect by talking about BLM protests. And in a message to a friend on January 17th, this is still 2021, Mitchell noted that he hadn't been arrested yet. And he wrote, quote, "I'm invincible." Well, in October of 2021, Mitchell was interviewed by the FBI, and he remained obstinate. He told agents, quote, "It is our constitutional right when we are being run by tyrants to try to do something about it. I don't think what we did was wrong because I feel like they are overreaching." So Mitchell was arrested on October 20th of 2021, and he was indicted on charges of obstructing an official proceeding, entering the floor of Congress, entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol. Mitchell refused a plea deal. He opted instead for a stipulated bench trial. And in December of 2022, Mitchell was found guilty on all counts. Based on the felony obstruction charge, he was facing up to 20 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. However, the prosecutor requested only 33 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. And as with his co-defendant, Mitchell has a lengthy criminal history. He also has a bunch of probation violations, so he doesn't really follow rules. Mitchell was convicted on 6 previous occasions. This is just between 2008 and 2011. And he's been convicted of receiving stolen property, larceny, criminal street gang participation, falsely identifying himself to law enforcement, burglary and entering a house to commit larceny, as well as grand larceny, not from a person. And Mitchell, also like his friend Bender, was on probation when he committed his crimes on January 6th. And he was recently arrested again and charged with possession of meth. To top it all off, Mitchell violated his pretrial conditions in this January 6th case at least 5 times. So the pretrial services officer recommended that he be jailed until sentencing. So U.S. District Judge Beryl Howell presided over Mitchell's case, and in the January 6th case, I should note, and I couldn't locate any details about what may have been said at the sentencing hearing, but Judge Howell sentenced Mitchell to 27 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. As with his friend Bender, I don't understand. I don't get why this judge didn't give the prosecutors what they asked for. Howell is typically one of the toughest January 6th judges. And with his criminal history, with his flouting of his pretrial release conditions, I really thought that she was going to give him the maximum. I just don't understand. I don't get it. Anyway, guys, I'm sure I'll hear more about this guy because, like I said, he still has other things still pending, has other charges against him. So I'll let you know as soon as I hear anything. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.